Hello everybody, my name is Sabrina and welcome to my first book haul. So today I have quite a handful of books to show you. I don't usually buy this many books. However, a month ago I went on vacation and I got quite a lot of books on that trip. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So the first book that I'm going to show you is one that I've wanted to get for a really long time, but I could never find it anywhere, and I finally got my hands on. And that is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. This follows an old man named Eddie who dies and gets sent to heaven, and there he meets 5 people who significantly impacted on his life when he was alive. And I don't know, I just think that is such an interesting story, and I've been meaning to read it for the longest time, but I could never find this book in any of my local bookstores, and I finally got it, and I am so excited to read it. It is quite a short read as well, so maybe I'll save it for like a readathon or something like that. But yeah. Then I got this very exciting book. It is Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead. It is the third and final book in the Magnus Chase series, which is about this boy, Magnus Chase, who dies and goes to Valhalla, which is like this place where warriors go when they die in Norse mythology. This series is centered around Norse mythology, which I think is very interesting. I did not know anything about Norse mythology, and as always, Rick Riordan does a wonderful job of introducing you to all these different mythologies. I've been reading Rick Riordan's books since I was 13. I am now 21, so it's been a long time, so you can imagine how excited I was when I realized in the bookstore that this is a signed copy. I don't own any signed copies at all. Where I live, we just don't get those. So you can imagine how thrilled I was to find out that this was a signed copy. And when I picked it up, I didn't even notice the sticker, but I was kind of browsing through the book and I saw this and I was like, wait, what? This is signed, and then I noticed the sticker, and I was so excited. So this is definitely one of the most special books in my collection of books, because Rick Riordan is one of my favorite authors, and the fact that I have a signed book by him is just so special, and I'm going to treasure this book for the rest of my life. The next 2 books that I got are part of a series, and that is 3 Dark Crowns and 1 Dark Throne by Kendra Blake. I don't know how to pronounce her name. First I thought it was Kendra, but then I realized that it's not Kendra, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Kendra Blake? I don't know. Anyway, the first book is 3 Dark Crowns, and it takes place on a kingdom where in every new generation, a set of triplets is born, and they're all equal heirs to the throne. They each possess a different kind of magic, and on the night of their 16th birthday, they have to participate in this life or death competition where they have to fight against each other, and the last one standing gets the crown. So that sounds so interesting, and I am so excited to read the series, and I can't wait to get to it. The next book that I got is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. This follows 2 main characters. The first character that we follow is Riel, and she's hiding the fact that she can control all 7 magical abilities that are in this world. And one day her best friend, the Crown Prince, gets attacked. And in order to save him, she kind of reveals her ability. And after they find out that she possesses all 7 types of magic, she has to go through different trials in order to prove herself, because there are 2 prophesied queens in this world, and they believe that she's one of those queens. So she has to go through trials in order to prove that she is the Sun Queen. And then 1,000 years later, when Riel's story is nothing but a fairy tale, we follow Eliana, who works for the Empire, but a serial of events happen and she joins this group of rebels, and she begins to discover how evil the Empire really is. And that sounds amazing. And I know that I've said this with every book that I've mentioned, but I really am so excited to read this. I'm a big fan of fantasy, and this just sounds great. And it sounds just like the kind of thing that I like. I love kingdoms, I love magic, and this is definitely the book for me. The next book that I got, I already read, and that is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This follows Makani Young. She's originally from Hawaii, and something happened back in Hawaii that makes her move to Nebraska with her grandmother, and then these series of murders begin happening in the town that she's currently living in. And you kind of have to figure out who's the one that's doing all the killings and why, and just a lot of strange things begin to happen, and it was a fun read. Then I got Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I've already read this one as well. This follows Amy right after her father has passed away in a tragic accident, and her mom is making them move from California to Connecticut, and there is this boy named Roger, who is a family friend, and he offers to take Amy from California to Connecticut. And they just take a road trip, and along the way, they decide to, instead of follow the trip that Amy's mother has planned, they decide to take an epic detour. I really enjoyed this book. It was a very fast read, and it was very cute. I mean, it's a contemporary, so and it was definitely like a very summer read, so I would definitely recommend reading this during the summer. The next book that I got is a very exciting one, and that is the Mina Lima edition of Beauty and the Beast. This editions are absolutely gorgeous. They have quite a lot of books in this edition, and I'm slowly but surely making my way through acquiring them all. As you can see, I own Peter Pan in this edition, which is right here, and I absolutely love it. They're just so beautiful, and inside they just have like this different interactive stuff, and the design is so beautiful, and it's just such a gorgeous addition to have in your collection. Hopefully soon I will get my hands on the other ones. The next book that I got is one that I randomly picked in the bookstore because I read the back and I enjoyed what it said. Like, all these other books that I've talked about before are ones that I've heard about in booktube videos, but these two last ones, I just went to the bookstore and I read the back and I liked what they were about, so I picked them up. And the first one is Tess of the Road. This takes place in the same world as Seraphina. They are both by the same author, Rachel Hartman. I have not read Seraphina, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So hopefully in the future I will be able to read it. But this takes place in the same world. It is a completely different story though, so I don't think it matters if you've read Seraphina or not. And it follows Tess, and she lives in a kingdom where women are supposed to be like ladies, and they're supposed to be delicate, and men must protect them. And Tess is having none of that, and she does not believe any of that. So her family is sending her away to be a nun, and she doesn't want to be a nun, so she kind of runs away to find a place where she feels like she truly belongs. And the last book that I got is The Diabolik. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that this is a sci-fi, and I don't usually read sci-fi, but I read the back, and as I said before, I thought that it was very interesting, so I bought it. This is about Nemesis, and she is a Diabolik, which I'm guessing she's like a robot or something. I'm not sure. But basically she was created to protect this senator's daughter, and she gets taken hostage by the Emperor, so Nemesis must become her in order to protect her. And I don't know how that would protect her, but I guess I'll find out once I read it. I don't know, I just thought it sounded really interesting, and I am very excited to read it. So this is quite a hefty lot. So I don't, and as I said before, I don't usually get this many books at once. So I don't think you will be seeing another book haul until like Christmas time. But yeah, that's it for today. Please let me know if you read any of these books, and tell me your opinions on them, and which one you think I should read first. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Goodbye!